Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about. Let's talk about. Let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host, and Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Mindset Monday, which is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to chat about something interesting. And today our topic is just let it go. Just let it go. And my very special guest is Mr. Ozzie Daniel, who is no stranger to Conversations with Nicole. Ozzie often comes on the fourth Monday or the last Monday of the month to close out the month. So this is our first time with Ozzie in 2025. And this is, I think, a very fitting topic for such a time as this. But before I bring him on, I need to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from? Let me know. I want to see your city and state in the comments so we can give you a shout out. This is an interactive live, and your comments and questions are very much so welcome. And so we are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. So like, share, tag, tell a friend they need to be on this live with us this evening. I see you, Enigma Sep. He said, I'm just here for the intro. Go to the corner, sir. Go to the corner. Thank you for being here, E. All right. Tanisha, thank you for tuning in out of Madison. I appreciate you so much. Sonia B from T-Town. Yes, thank you for joining us. And Sonia and I actually are planning an event on this coming Saturday for women, for the ladies. It's like a declutter game night, but we'll get you some more information about it in the days to come. So you all please be on the lookout for that. Mom is on, of course, my number one fan down in Miami. Thank you for being here, Ma. I love you. I appreciate you so much. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share Ozzie's bio. For those of you who don't know Mr. Ozzie Daniel, he is a former U.S. Navyman, graduated with honors in psychology and organizational leadership. During his career, he served in many departments in the communication fields and special forces. He is a servant leader and he enjoys serving others while building a mind of faith and gratitude in the community while working in the mental health field as a clinician, family coordinator, and mental health skill builder. He focuses more on the holistic approach to mental health, which includes the whole well being to enhance the quality of life. And some of his hobbies include anything that has to do with relaxation, listening to jazz, reading, cooking, and he wants to maybe open a jazz corner one day. But some of his quotes are, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And also, it does not cost a thing to be kind, but be kind to yourself first. So y'all, help me welcome Mr. Ozzie Daniel.
Hi, Nicole. What a wonderful, amazing introduction. Wow, thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Happy New Year to everybody who's coming on board. And we're in the month of February, last week of the month.
I know. Can you believe it?
I'll tell you, it's flying. Time is flying. Next thing you know, you blink your eye 3 times and it's 2026.
I know, right? Don't even mention it. Don't
I
even.
know, right? I know.
All right. So, Ozzie, you got to
Yes,
tell the
ma'am.
people, who is Ozzie Daniel? Not what you do, but who are you?
Who I am. I look at it this way. I am an evolving man that have no end in Elohim. And the reason why I say that is because it's a continuous growth, personally, spiritually, and having the right mindset daily. And these are the things that I practice into my self discipline. I'm a father, brother, and a friend, and I love life more and more because the deeper I get into gratitude, is the more I see and understand and comprehend what this thing called life. And there's even more to it. But overall, I just love life. And I'm grateful to be here for another night. Let's do this. I can't hear you.
Hold on, sorry, my mic was muted. So we have several folks who have joined us tonight. We got Miss Tracy Golay, thank you for being here, and Miss Sharice Du Bois in Atlanta, thank you for joining us. Miss Teresa Nix, who is a calendar girl. The Tallahassee State College just came out with their Black History calendar. Miss Teresa is one of the honorees. So we have Black History calendar royalty amongst us. All right. E says, Happy New Year. We got Bethel Christian Academy. I need the summer to come. Okay. Coming.
Wait for it.
Yes. My sister Shayla is on. Thank you for being here, Shay. And Miss Portia. She said, I'm
Hey,
in
Portia.
the building. Yes. Miss
Hey,
Miami. So indeed. Yes.
my
So we got
faithful friend.
some Ozzie fans on the live, right? All right, so I should have had this already ready, but because I have Ozzie on, I want to read my disclaimer. So you all don't think this is counseling, right? All topics past, present, and future on Conversations with Nicole are for informational purposes only. They are not to be used as a diagnosis for treatment or an answer to any personal issues related to the topic being discussed before, during, or after the program. All right. So we are talking about letting go. Just let it go.
Yeah, not just let it go, just let it go.
Just let it go.
Because if you let it go, you can always return back to it. But if
Mm.
you just let it go completely, yes, because of our memories, it will come back, it'll linger. But at the same time, how much entertainment are we going to give to it if it's not positive?
So let's start out with asking the viewers, if there's something that they want to let go?
Yeah. What?
Yes.
Everybody have something that they need to let go, and it differ from one person to the next. But
Mm-hmm.
what it is, until we identify that, we can't solve it, can't fix it.
So let us know in the comments, if you don't mind, if there is something you want to let go of. If you're not comfortable sharing what that thing is, although that is really the question, then just give us a thumbs up and let us know that there is. For me, I will start off by saying some of the some of my mementos. I am very sentimental, and I keep a lot of things that I probably could let go of some of these things.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
All
know,
right.
and the key focus of it, Nicole, when we talk about just letting it go, to be specific about the whole situation is our personal growth. Because if it's affecting our personal growth,
Mm-hmm.
the key to suffering is attachment.
Mm,
So, what are we really being attached to in such a sense that it is affecting our focus, our personal growth, and we're not regulating it right, you
mm,
know? And that's the key, it's emotional regulation. We all have something we're going to deal with. There's challenges. and it's inevitable that anyone is going to escape from it. But
Mhm.
how we confront it and not trying to escape it is another thing. Because at the end of our conversation tonight, we're going to talk on resilience. But before we could get to resilience and being resilient, we got to figure out, okay, what am I holding on to that is affecting my passion, enthusiasm, and setting a mind of purpose? And we cannot set a mind of purpose if we don't have a vision.
So we have a few brave souls who have commented, and thank you all for playing along. So E said anxiety is something that he is wanting to let go of. We got
Not
oh
saying no.
yes, yes. Uh Donda. The name just escaped me. I'm sorry. She said not saying no. Yes, 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 yes.
Mhm.
And Miss Teresa, she said, I'm a perfectionist. So there's a lot that I need to just let go of. Yes, let it go.
Mhm.
I would also say procrastination for me is one.
Mhm.
Hmm. Yes, that I need to let go of.
Yeah.
So thank
And
you all for sharing those things.
yes, yes, thank you. And that's so important to just identifying it. Now when we identify it and we speak it, now we really identifying it, and now there's a solution that must follow. Because now if we're saying, well, anxiety is bothering me. I have been holding on to this for 1 or 2 years, 3 months, and it could come from a lot of different ways.
Hmm.
Loss of someone, loss of a close friendship, relationship, and now you have to walk alone. Now you got to travel that road alone,
Yeah.
and it could bring a lot of anxiety. So these are the things that, yes, if we confront it face on and really look at it by acceptance. You see, once we accept it, now the solution going to start coming, you
Mm,
know but denial is the situation that put us into this flux of cognitive dissonance, because
right.
here it is, this is happening, but we refuse to accept it and deal with it, and nothing going to come out of it if we don't really say, okay, I'm not going to deal with this no longer because I want better.
So yes, you are absolutely correct. As you mentioned earlier, the attachment piece, I think that's probably a lot uh more how do I want to say that I think that we struggle with that more than we maybe care to acknowledge or admit
Mhm.
is the attachment piece.
It's the attachment,
Mm-hmm.
and the stronger the attachment, the greater the suffering.
Mm,
So is it something we want to hold on to? Because if it's affecting us in such a way that our brain is going through trauma through it, how are we going to be able to stay focused on the current path and goal to reach that destination that we're trying to reach?
mm,
So here goes the situation. Do we have a definite plan? Not an idea, but a definite plan. And
mm.
if that plan is not written down, it's just a dream. So now, one of the things that I look at, right, we need to start moving from the wish list to what I need to do list.
Okay, sounds good. Real quick, Tanisha said this was for me, and she has the crying emoji. Well, I'm so glad to hear that this is for you, Tanisha, and definitely holding space for you right now.
Mhm.
Um, as you are tuning in tonight. So, uh, again, you mentioned, oh my goodness, what is going on?
You get Man, they're pinging you tonight, Nicole.
Oh, again, the attachment, the suffering, um, the acknowledgement, and not being in denial about it as well, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that is and the list go on and on. As we were talking backstage for a while, here goes the self-doubt, fear of criticism.
So these are reasons why we have difficulty in letting go.
Exactly.
Okay.
These are the things. And until we start narrowing down to the T on these things and say, I no longer want this to be part of me, it will never go.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes it's there to challenge us to see how strong and resilient we are into saying, you know what, this is what I'm going to stay focused on. This is what I'm going to do. And this is the positive action steps I'm going to take moving forward. But if we still lingering in these areas, we'll never see how to take the first step.
So let's
You know?
let's let's
Mhm.
let's break that down. All right. So tell us
Yeah.
what the first one is. Why, in terms of difficulty, why it's difficult for us to let go?
Self-doubt.
Self-doubt. Okay.
Self-doubt. You doubt in yourself every time there's something good to do or we could accomplish because we have the ability to do it. Here goes the sabotaging.
Mm-hmm.
We sabotage it. Why? Because of fear of criticism. That's the number one thing. Have
Okay.
you ever seen someone that come to a point that they don't give two hoots what anybody say, think, feel, or even whatever words you want to use
They're very
towards them?
mm-hmm.
What happened to that person after a while? You see that person start to flourish, right? Because they no longer let criticism get in the way. Because no matter what you do, how good it may be, what it may be, it could even be baking a cake. Somebody gonna still criticize, oh, it's not sweet enough, or it need a little bit of this or that. But guess what? Perfection don't come by just one shot. It come by trying over and over until you get it where you want it to get to.
Okay.
And then you could say to yourself, well done. And then you could start building up from there. But until we get through that stage or over that hump, guess what? Now we emotional feelers, just
Mm-hmm.
moving on what people say, and sometimes their criticism may be okay, yeah, some praise or whatever the case may be, but is it really authentic?
Mm.
Is
Good
it
question.
really authentic or just blowing smoke just to make you feel good? But do you feel good inside? How do you feel inside? Do you have that strong conviction inside? Because until that strong conviction is there, you're not going to succeed.
So Miss Jeanette has just joined us down in Miami Gardens. Thank you for being here. Miss Teresa asks, what are some ways to reduce the feelings of discomfort in trying to let it go?
One of the number one way is coming into acceptance. You got to
Mm,
accept. These are the things that is bothering me. These are the things that is slowing me down. And it's part of life,
mm,
But now, if you say, okay, these are the things that is slowing me down and the issues that come along with it, are you willing to forgive yourself?
mm.
Are you willing to forgive yourself so you could release the feelings of anger and resentment? It could come from something or the other, or from your past, or being criticized as a young lad all the way into adulthood, and you're still holding on to that childhood memory.
Mm.
So forgiveness is one of the most important key in letting things go.
Okay. So you mentioned acceptance, you mentioned forgiveness.
Forgiveness. That
And
is one of the biggest one, Nicole, that I could ever think of. Because until we get to that sacred place of forgiving ourselves, and sometimes we may have to forgive others, but forgiving ourselves, that's where the healing comes. And when the healing comes, now everything starts to flourish. Because we have to remember that a gift was deposited in us the day we were born. Not just a gift of life, but the gift of abilities, the gift to release potential that God already placed in us from the time we were in our mother's womb. But these things have to come into discovery for ourselves and for the world we live in. The answer is there, but if we're running around feeding on what Susie and Pinky and Joey saying and not really coming to our own being, now we are procrastinating. Because we're not listening to our own voice. We're not listening to our own thoughts. But if it's negative, we need to get rid of that root.
All right. So Miss Potter just joined us down in Miami Gardens. Thank you for being here, Miss Potter. So I'm a circle us back around. I mean, I know we are flowing with this conversation, but I want to get back to these barriers because I think it's important that we kind of know what. And he said, not Pinky. We need to know what it is that is hindering us from letting go.
Yeah. Our excuses.
Excuses. All right. So self-doubt, excuses.
Yeah.
And I know we got a bunch of those.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's not, we worrying about competition, right? Oh, somebody's always competing with. No. Your competition is your own self-doubt, your excuses, your negative thoughts, your little comfort zone. Well, I'm good right here. I ain't ready to move there. No. Your pride, your habits, and lack of focus. These are the things that we need to confront and let it go. Just let it go. And take some reasonable risk with a definite plan. And see where it goes. See where it goes. There's a lot of dreams that we have within us, but at the same time, those dreams cannot come into reality if we are not in harmony with ourselves. Because if we're not in harmony with ourselves, how are we going to be in harmony with anybody else? True. There's always going to be a conflict, argument, competition, who better than who wearing this, all the little small talk stuff, instead of getting out of that.
So, Ozzie, you ran through those really quick.
I did.
But I got self-doubt, excuses, pride, habits, or lack thereof.
Comfort zone, being in our little comfort zone, our pride, our habits. And when I say habits, is what habits are deterring you from progressing in life. Those habits may not be a good fruit and producing fruit into your life. So if it's not producing fruit, got to cut it off. Instead of like, well, I said I was going to do this. Well, don't say I'm going to do it. Even though it may fail, how would you learn if you don't go through some kind of failures? Now, that may hurt the perfectionists because they can't stand to fail because some egos may come in. But guess what? We have to be willing to learn from it. The mistakes, learn and keep growing, Thomas Edison, how much time did he fail before he finally get the result and the answer to his
invention?
10,000 times.
Right.
We failed 10 times. We ready to go dig a hole.
Yes,
You
that is true.
know, I can't take this no more. Okay, you can't take it no more. Take a break,
So I
detach
want
a little
to,
bit, and
I
come
want,
back.
I
Hmm?
want to get the viewers involved a little bit.
Yes,
So
do.
these things that have been mentioned, and my sister, she said, "Woo, comfort zone, ouch." Yes. So what are some of those barriers that and it could be something that Ozzy did not mention, but he mentioned self-doubt. Um, the things that I think primarily contribute to the self-doubt are criticisms. I think it's also fear of being judged, um,
Hmm. Our negative thoughts.
negative thoughts. Yes, that's another one.
Yeah,
Negative.
negative thoughts, which will deter us from focus.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a focus, but it'll be in the wrong direction. And
Yeah.
believe me, there'll be some consequences along that way to bring us to a point of regret. And then here goes the emotional regulation that have to be worked on is the guilt of it. And then the excuses of it. And
Mm-hmm.
then the criticism of it.
Mm-hmm. So y'all, this is a deeper dive tonight because we are really examining ourselves in
They
terms of the things that we really need to let go. So we are having an honest conversation with ourselves about the things
Mhm.
that need to let go of. And when I say things, it could be people as well. Um,
Oh,
and then looking at those barriers to why we aren't able to let go. So again, self-doubt. And Tanisha said self-doubt for me, she said rejection. So I think like to me that falls under it. Rejection is part of the self-doubt piece. Why self-doubt is a sticking point, right?
mhm.
Um excuses you mentioned, pride, habits or lack thereof, lack of focus, comfort zone, negative thoughts.
Yeah.
So
And the
if there
big one is really negative thoughts because, you know, as we think, so we become. As we think, so we are. As we think, so we drive.
mm-hmm.
As we think, that's the direction we're going to go in. It's so easy to think negative than positive,
Mm-hmm.
but yet positive is what going to always win.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you for sharing, Shay. She says self-doubt and comfort zone. Anybody else willing to share what are some of those barriers to letting go? What are some of those barriers to letting go?
yeah.
Negative self-talk, lack of focus, poor habits.
Poor habits. Oh man, that's just one that really, really become automatic,
Mm-hmm.
in whatever we are doing. So if we're not really attentive to what we are doing on a daily basis, it becomes automatic.
Mm-hmm. All right. E said
Overthinking.
overthinking. Yes.
Mm,
I am part of that club too,
yeah,
E.
yeah,
So you are not alone. You are not
yeah. A
alone.
lot of, start doing a lot of journaling, my friend. Start doing a lot of journaling. Start writing things down and, visualizing it. That's
Mm-hmm.
one way to kind of bring that on the on the context.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So would you say that that's one of those strategies? Because
one of the
I
strategies.
okay, journaling and visualization.
Right.
Okay.
And actually, once we could visualize it, because once you write it down, it's really coming from your soul.
Hmm.
But now it's trying to redirect us in the direction we need to go by actually confronting it, admitting it, and saying, okay, I want to do better.
Yeah.
I am going to do better. So the more you say, I am going to do better, guess what your subconscious is going to start doing? It's going to start taking it and say, okay, they're going to start driving us into the direction that we need to go into to start correcting it. Because the key is to fix the problems, not the blame.
Indeed. So I just had have been having a very similar conversation with Sonya B about just what she's been listening to,
Hmm.
the music that she's been listening to, the things that she has been thinking about, and it has totally shifted. Like she's been thinking winning, and she can feel the winning. She's, getting more clients that appreciate her value and the work that she does.
Mm.
And a lot of that is centered around, again, she has taken on this kind of winning mindset, winning attitude, and that's what she is um, allowing herself to see and hear on a daily basis. I don't know if she's still on here, but she may want to speak to it. But
That's awesome right there.
yeah.
And that sound more like that person is actually starting to live in a life of gratitude, in a mindset of gratitude. And
Hmm.
once that is projected in the right direction daily, it's that changing everything around us.
Hmm.
We start to attract the right people into our life. We
Yes.
start to detract the people that do not need to be in our life for the
Hmm.
time being until they get their mind right,
Right.
so we could stay focused,
Yes.
and sometimes we go back chasing after those people after they actually been separated from us for a while for
Hmm.
us to grow. Why? Because we love drama sometimes.
Sometimes we do.
This is too boring. I need some action,
Mm.
but sometimes we need that quietness. We need that solitude so we
Yeah.
could start thinking and planning and actually putting ourselves in a position to take action.
Hmm. Indeed. So my sister says she concurs with overthinking. She overthinks things to no end. All
Mhm.
right. And then Tanisha, she said, yes, journaling is my go-to. It helped me heal so much from where I used to be. Wonderful. Brother Malcolm just joined us. Thank you for being
Good
here.
evening.
Yes, yes, yes. And so just quickly, we are a little bit past the halfway point of this conversation. So for those of you who are just tuning in, I'm talking with Mr. Ozzie Daniel. We are talking about just let it go. Just let it go. And what we have already discussed is some of the barriers to letting go, which include self-doubt. And then there's a whole plethora of things under self-doubt, which include criticism, judgment, rejection. The second thing would be excuses. Another one would be pride. Another one would be habits or lack of habits. Five would be lack of focus. Six, comfort zone. And seven, uh, negative thoughts. And I'll add overthinking to that list since several
Mhm.
folks mentioned that one. But we also have talked a little bit about some what I call solutions to letting go, and that is acceptance, forgiveness, journaling, visualization, and gratitude.
Yeah.
Right?
And one good point is to, you see, when we start thinking positively and we
Mm-hmm.
make a habit of it, now one of the greatest solution that comes about is being able to anticipate problems and being ready to work through them.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so it's almost now you get this keen sense. And when you get that keen sense, now you can anticipate things. And now instead of running from it, now you're going to say, okay, I'm going to be ready to work through them.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and that's how the masterpiece that come in around. You start mastering yourself because now you're starting to get insight. So
Mm,
when you get that insight, there goes the mastery. But
gotcha.
if we keep running away, it's not going to leave. It's going to still be there until you say, okay, I'm going to face you head on, but I'm going to walk in peace, walk in harmony within myself so I can see clearly. And there comes the clarity,
Yes.
there comes the clarity on it.
So Donda said, I think being complacent is a hindrance to letting go.
Yes. That's like comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sitting there and, don't want to move. And I'll tell you the truth, God will not walk with you until you start taking action,
Mm-hmm.
because that's where faith comes, and you have to have that enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have that enthusiasm, nobody going to want to walk with you or believe in you or
Mm.
help you.
So I would like to add this to the conversation, and the only reason that I'm kind of adding this is because I actually presented it on the radio show, my sports radio show today,
Mm,
about, and it was an article from Psychology of the Day about why can't I let go. The first thing that the author talked about was grief, and how often we have a difficult time going through the grief process. And so
mm,
we get stuck somewhere along the way. We resist the urge to cry. We don't allow ourselves. Ozzie, what you doing over there? We don't allow ourselves to feel the anger, or we get
mhm,
stuck in rage. We don't talk about it with anyone. We're trying so hard to be strong
mhm,
and take care of everyone else except ourselves. We get stuck with if only thinking.
mhm,
We try to stay busy and get on with our life. And, these are all of the things that we say when when we, or if somebody we know is going through the grieving process. And so we get consumed with other distractions and use substances, and we overwork and we overthink and we overanalyze and we overeat and we, you know, all of those things. And
sure.
so sometimes we just need to sit in the grief. We need to just sit still and grieve.
Yeah,
Period.
I agree. And really and truly, that's part of acceptance, you know. But now when we accept it, we're allowing ourselves to emotionally regulate it correctly.
Hmm.
So we're not detaching from it, we acknowledging it and allowing it to take its process,
Yes.
but not saying, okay, I'm going to sit in it.
Hmm.
But acknowledging it is the key. If you sense that it's there and this is what I'm going through, now you can find the right peer support to help you work through it.
Hmm.
But the key is getting through it.
Yeah.
But some people may take a longer time. Some people may take a shorter time. It really come down to how resilient that person may be in their thinking.
Yes.
But what are we putting in place of those things to help us along the way?
Good question.
And it really come down to emotional regulation.
Hmm.
Are we regulating and processing those feelings and thoughts, and are we directing it in the right way so we could transform out of it? See, the
Okay.
key is a transformation out of it.
Hmm. So Rachel Favors is on here. Thank you for being here. She's here in Tallahassee. She said, I love to walk. It does help with mental clarity.
Yes,
Nice. Thank you for
I
sharing.
yes, I love it too.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, been kind of real cold lately, so I'm saying I miss it. I can't wait to get back to it.
Uh-huh.
As she just said, it helps bring clarity.
Yeah.
It really, really does.
Hmm. Okay.
Good point.
So any other solutions or remedies on how to let go?
Self-compassion.
Mm, okay.
Just like how when you're given that introduction, you
Hmm.
talk about being kind to yourself, being
Yeah.
kind to others, but first be kind to yourself. That is
Mm,
self-compassion. You got to treat yourself with kindness,
yeah.
you know, especially during difficult times,
Mm,
and understand that struggling is part of life.
yeah.
But you're human.
Mm-hmm.
But the key is, okay, acknowledge it, see it, and say, okay, I'm willing to work through it. Because you see, that's how we overcome,
Mm-hmm.
and the answer will always come once we say, okay, the answer will always come. But are we willing to accept it when it comes?
So we're going back to acceptance.
Acceptance. It really number one,
It is.
acceptance.
It is.
Because when we come into the acceptance part and then we forgive, just in case we may be in fault or someone else may be in fault, but at the same time, forgive the whole thing. Because what that does, it release.
Mm-hmm.
It's like taking a hose apart that is full of water and it got a knot on it. But when you take that knot out, it releases. Everything just streams through. Why? Because it's nothing holding it back.
Right.
But coming into mindfulness also is another good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just like how the lady actually just said a while ago, taking walk or
Mm-hmm.
just sitting in quietness, becoming more aware, Rachel, coming more aware and just being mindful.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more we become mindful of things, is the awareness that growing, but yet it bring a shield to protect us also.
Mm.
That shield come in because now every time that healing take place, there's a shield that come there to protect us until that healing maximize itself so we can live our best life. you
I
know
like I like the thought of that.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
you
Okay.
know so self-compassion, be kind, you know and when we actually practice it, and that's the funny thing about with our mind, our brain, it got to be trained. I'm serious. It got
Yeah.
to be trained.
It,
If we don't train it, because we talk about habits, and in any type of habits, you do it 5 times, 6 times, repetition, repetition, it becomes a habit. But is
mm-hmm.
it a good habit? Is it a
Mm.
positive habit? Do we have enough intelligence to say, okay, I'm willing to change? That's where the intelligence come about, is being able to change over and over and over and over again to become our better self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good question. Good question. All right. I would just want to make sure we got all of the barriers, the things that hinder us from letting go.
Yes, you did get all of that.
Okay, self-doubt, excuses, pride, habits, lack of focus.
Focus.
Yes,
hmm
comfort zone slash complacency,
hmm
negative thoughts, overthinking,
And the self-doubt,
self-doubt.
you
Yes,
know,
self-doubt number one.
and that really, really, it's like a vacuum, you
Mm,
know, that just taking all our energy. We have to realize one thing, right, Nicole?
mm,
Everything is on energy.
mm,
Energy. And that's why I came up with the subject, just let it go. Because if everything is on energy and
mm.
it's energy that going to bring matter into manifestation, why are we letting our energy deteriorate into such a way that now we don't have the energy to focus? We don't have the energy to make good decisions. We don't
Mm,
have the energy to do the things that we need to do
mhm.
because we're allowing other things and other matter to suck up our energy within our being. And now here goes the stress.
Mm.
And if there's high stress, here goes the cortisol levels.
Yeah.
So if it goes to cortisol levels, guess what? The body starts suffering. And if
Mm,
the body starts suffering, that means the energy level started to decrease.
mm. Energy.
Everything. It's
Mhm.
on energy. And
Tanisha.
that's why having a good night rest is so important, because that's when our body heals. That's
Mm,
when our soul regenerates itself into our being. So we could have energy to
energy.
proceed through the day, to do our work, to fulfill our dreams, and
Mm,
to be successful.
yeah.
But who we allowing in our lives and what we're doing in our life really going to determine how much energy we're going to conserve into our lifespan.
Absolutely. So, we may sometimes kind of discount that or say it's no big deal in terms of
Mm,
having these particular people in our lives, but it is a big deal,
yeah,
and it has a direct impact on you and your peace, your ability to let go, and
yes,
and live your best life.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the way how we do that is next part, Nicole,
Mm-hmm.
is the detachment.
Detachments.
We got to detach from certain outcomes and certain expectation. We put too much expectations on things that really and truly
Mm.
we placing ourselves way above that we could even reach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Yeah.
if we cut off the expectation, now we'll be able to resolve a lot of situations that going on around us and be able to recognize things and
Yes.
situations, and to be able to control our attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Circumstances is always going to be there, but it's our attitude. And with our attitude, there goes our energy. So
Mm-hmm.
is it going to be in the positive vibes or negative vibes?
Right. So Iris is on. Thank you for being here, Iris. She said having the wrong people around you can zap all of your energy.
Say it
How
again.
how many of y'all know people like that? People that zap your energy.
Yeah.
Let us
That
know.
mean
I'm not
that
telling you
mean that energy kind of low already, and you get
right.
around negative people, and zap, there it goes.
I'm not telling you to mention their names, but just let us know. Raise your hand, give us a thumbs up, a church finger, or something. Let us know if you know somebody that zaps all of your energy or just shifts the energy in the room in a not
Mm,
so positive way.
yeah,
Well, I think we all know some folks like that for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
For sure, for sure. We got Brother Solomon on. He said, "What's the topic tonight?" The topic tonight is just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. All right. So Donda, yes, she gave a thumbs up. Rachel gave 3 thumbs up. Okay. All right. So we gotta separate ourselves or just love those people from a distance, maybe.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that's what you got to do for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
You
Katina,
know,
yes. Thank you for
I sometimes say until they get their mind right, or until I get my mind right
mm-hmm.
to deal with that part.
Yeah.
Well, for the time being, I'd rather move in this direction. This
Mm-hmm.
is where the stream is flowing. I don't want to hang in this reservoir. I want to stream out into the ocean.
Okay,
You
reservoir.
know?
All right. Brother Solomon said family is the worst.
Mm,
Sometimes they can be for sure.
sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
You know, and
All
the
right.
expectation that comes from it too
Mm-hmm.
is another thing. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
um,
All right. Mom says she does too. She knows some folks like that. All right. So again, don't let them kill your vibe. Don't let them shift your energy in a negative sense.
yeah, and those things you just got to let go.
Mm-hmm.
You got to
Got
let it go. Don't try to hold on to it or entertain it or say, "Oh, I'm strong enough." No, you're not at that time. Because if you were, you'll be able to change the whole atmosphere in there with your energy, with
mm-hmm.
your positive energy, and set the tone.
Yes. Donda says some things can only be released through prayer and fasting.
They
Yes,
preach.
ma'am.
And
Yes, ma'am.
that is a true statement.
That is very true.
That is very, very true.
Hmm.
I agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, to really let things go,
Hmm.
we have to set real goals and intentions.
Okay.
Got to set it, be realistic about it so it can release into your life and release from your life, and identifying to those goals, and actually having a definite plan. Because
Okay.
with a definite plan come passion and enthusiasm, you
Hmm.
know, and those three things work together consistently. But until we could come to that area and understanding of those principles, it's going to be a struggle. And then we have to come to the place of that list. What is holding me back that I need to let go of? Because sometimes we unconsciously not aware that we are holding on to these things.
That part.
But when you come to that conscious sense of holding on to it after you become conscious of it, that's a sin. Because now you're sabotaging your own self and your own natural ability and giftings to move forward into progress.
Mm. Yeah, we don't want you to sabotage yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So,
Miss Portia said
detach,
radical
detach.
acceptance. Radical acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. So,
Let's see. Solomon said this may have been addressed, but when do you let go? Every situation is different.
and that's true. Every
Mm.
situation is different. Everyone is different, and every individual have something that they have to work on. But that's where it really come down to you personally, that coming into acceptance of what I need to let go of and really confronting it and saying, okay, this is my plan of action on
Mm-hmm.
what I'm going to do about it. Because you see, the key is a plan of action.
Yeah.
And until that plan of action comes about, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle, but don't try to escape from yourself that you're not in tune with yourself.
Mm-hmm. I think, Brother Solomon, the thing about it is you have to come to that kind of realization on your own. I mean, you know that there's some things that you need to let go of. Otherwise, you're in denial about it. And
Mm-hmm.
so as your life progress and these things are that you may be in denial about, it will reveal itself at
It
some,
will.
and you'll come to it as like, yeah, this is really not serving me well. This is really not something that I need to be involved in, because, or a person that I need to be involved with, because your body will physically be telling you things about these experiences or these people or what have you. And so if you feel yourself tensing up, you sweating, your heart palpitating, shortness of breath, these are some physiological things that can definitely give you warning or give you signs that you need to let go of whatever this thing is, or these people, this person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And stop trying to be so, not being direct, but don't be so prideful to the point that we allow our ego
Mm-hmm.
to override us. And then there goes the damages. More damage, more damage, more damage. And
Yeah.
now got to go into
Mm.
fixing. And now we have to bring ourselves to this place of humility
Yeah.
in order to face things and to confess these things, to say, okay, I'm going to move forward and do better,
Mm-hmm.
But now I really look at it in a way of get in this place of being in harmony with yourself. because I guarantee you that once you practice that intentionally, harmony is going to start spreading around you. Don't matter what's going on in this world. It's all about from within. It all starts from within. But if we're not in harmony with ourselves, don't expect your next door neighbor, your friend, your bestie to be in harmony with you. They may just be there because sometimes misery like company type of thing, but get out of that mindset. Get out of it. If we're going to progress in life and grow, we have to be realistic,
Mm-hmm.
and really come down to the time management. Don't act as if we got all the time in the world, but we got now. That's the only time that we have.
Mm-hmm. All right, Brother Quasi just joined us out of Atlanta. Thank you for being here. Quasi, you're going to have to catch the replay because we're about to wrap it on up. So, Ozzie,
Yes,
please
ma'am.
give us some closing remarks and tell folks how they can connect with you.
Okay. Where are we going? It's that time, huh? What? Okay. So thanks for everyone for being here tonight and, just learning and growing and really getting a lot of feedback on what we need to do to stay focused. Just remember that we can't have a new reality with an old mentality.
Mm.
And we have to also remember, to let go, our character and discipline is very essential to keep our life balanced. And until we practice these things, our life will never come into true revelation of who we truly are. So let's get out of the raw material and let's start bringing it into manifestation so we could really become who we were truly born to be. And just share that light, let that light flow through you. Sometimes it may just come to a point of just being transparent with the right people, and let them feed us and put that good word in us. But at the same time, we got to find materials to read, to study, to really bring in and feed our minds. Mm-hmm. We got to renew our minds daily. Yes. And until we do that, we're just going to be taking up air, But at the same time, as I always say at the end of conversation with Nicole, Matthew 6:33, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and then all these things shall be added unto you. And this is one habit that I practice every single day because I know for sure I need not to run away from myself. I need to become who I was designed to be so I could be a blessing and not a pain. Now, how you can reach me? You can reach me on Facebook, Ozzie Daniel, or IG, OzWiz2819, or just email me, the ozcorner@gmail.com, but I'm easy to reach on Facebook. That's a social network that everybody normally on. So easy to reach me there. So I thank everyone for joining us this evening, the last Monday of the month. And let's get our mind right so we can move into the next month. And by the time I come back again, Lord's willing, we could be able to feed each other mind and encourage each other and enlighten each other and empower each other to become our best self.
Nice. Thank you, Ozzie. Was that original? We can't have a new reality with an old mentality. I like that one.
You like that? There you go. Write it down.
I wrote it down. I got a whole
write it down. You can't have a new reality with an old mentality.
I love that.
Got to renew our minds. And that's part of just letting it go, because it stays there. And I didn't talk about the implicit and explicit memory part of our brain, but these are the things that we need to have it the right idea so we could be able to, you're welcome, the right idea, and it really come with that mindset. But
Mm-hmm.
what are we disciplining ourselves daily with? What are we engaging ourselves daily with? What are you doing the first few hours of the morning you wake up? Are you feeding your mind? Are you feeding your soul? Are you in prayer? Are you really getting in tune with who you are so you can walk out that door and be a blessing?
All right, Ozzy, don't start preaching now.
Okay, I was holding it in because
He was on
I,
a roll.
I didn't need Portia to come on and
She
stop
said
putting
that part. She said,
that poor church lady, that church lady running around up and down the hallway and up.
it's all right. It's all right. Well,
It's all good.
I appreciate you. I appreciate this topic. I hope you all enjoyed the topic. If so, let us know in the comments. Give us some hearts or thumbs up or something to let us know that it was good. She
Yeah,
said, take us,
that part.
use us, etc. Yes, ma'am, Miss Portia. Oh, goodness, jealous folks. Oh, Lord, Miss Portia done got started now. Hold on.
Uh, uh,
All right. Thank you, Brittany. Appreciate you being
yes,
on.
appreciate it.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes,
So
yes.
this
Yeah,
was again a little meaty today because we definitely were diving in terms of evaluating ourselves
yes.
and really being honest with ourselves about those barriers to letting go and
Mhm.
then the ways that we can let go. So
Yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
here it is. Sometimes we do that assessment at the end of the year, but it's so good when we could do that assessment in the beginning of the year. So now we could chunk on these areas as we go through the year. So by the time we get to the end of the year, we could really get some deep meat of revelation within our own being,
Absolutely.
because it's in you already. It's up to you to go find it,
Hmm.
you
Okay.
know?
So let this be an encouragement to us all. Encouragement to us all. So for those of you who may be new to the platform, I want to invite you to subscribe to Conversations with Nicole. We are here Mondays and Wednesdays, although we won't be here this Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Focus on mental health and wellness in Black and Brown communities. I invite you to subscribe, to like, to share, subscribing and supporting, and we need all the support we can get. So, Ozzy, thank you for the words that you shared. Folks are
My
giving us
pleasure.
hearts. Yes,
Thank you all for being here tonight and
indeed.
supporting this platform. And I'm grateful about that with much gratitude,
Yes,
So,
sir.
you know, I try to keep it conversation wise so, you know, Nicole could get in her conversation piece. So, things won't get real hot up
Uh,
in here,
uh, all right. So remember, so one of the nuggets from tonight is we can't have a new reality with an old mentality. So
It won't work.
just
And
let it,
also remember the root
just
of
let it go.
suffering is attachment. So
Yes.
some things we need to just detach from so we could breathe,
Mm-hmm.
breathe a little bit,
Yes.
so we could think. And then in our thinking, we could do with action, you know? Yeah.
Yes. All
Because
right.
the world, you are special. You're special and you're here for a purpose, but you got to find that purpose. As I usually say all the time, find your purpose, you find your life.
Mm-hmm.
And more, I am seeing it daily, and I'm embracing it, So that's so important.
Indeed. So let's keep this conversation going. Just let it go.
Just
Share
let it go.
share it with somebody that you think will benefit from this and put these tools, these tips, these techniques into action, into play. All right. All right, good people. Y'all have a great rest of the week and we'll see y'all next time.
Good night. Take care. Sweet dreams.